Hi everyone, this is Cliff from Advanced Diagnostics. I'm a firm believer in high probability, low risk when it comes to key programming. And it's no different on these Toyota Lexus Prox vehicles. These can be very high probability jobs. And what you're looking at is the interior cabinet of a 2011 Prius. Now these use system type 6 on the Toyota menu under Prox. And they're really fairly easy to do. However, there are some stumbling blocks, and we get these calls all the time, where a locksmith, for example, has a working Prox remote and they just want to introduce a spare. But as you all probably know from doing this type of work, the trend out there in the marketplace is for the customer to go and purchase their own Prox remote, introduce it to you to program in. Now, this is from an unreliable source. And 9 times out of 10, and this is what you need to be mindful of, is the fact that that Prox remote is most likely been used on another vehicle. Now, the only way that you can add it into the system is to reset the immobilizer first, which is 16 minutes long. Now, you don't want to do that until you've made sure that your two Prox remotes are 100% compatible. And what I mean by that is taking it a step further than just looking at the FCC number and the part number, because the two can match. However, it's the inside of the Prox remote itself that is going to give you your true compatibility. So what you need to do is open the Prox remote up, and you do that by removing your E key, and you can take the end of the E key or you can use a screwdriver and pry it open and take a look at the boards themselves. There are different stampings. There can be an E as in Edward on the board. Make sure that both have the E. Or there can be a GNE, so George, Nancy, Edward, or no stamping at all. On the no stamping at all, make sure your chip configurations are 100% compatible. And the other issue is keep some spare batteries, because Prox remotes, if the battery gets slightly weak, that can cause it to fail. So make sure that your Prox remotes are 100% compatible before you reset the immobilizer, because the last thing you really want to do is go through the 16-minute process only to find out that you can get the original to go back in but not the spare. So 100% compatibility is what you're looking for. Then you can do your reset and introduce your spare Prox first and your original second in that order. And of course, you're selecting program keys. You're going to hold up your first Prox remote right up to the reader, which is this push to start button. And you get a beep. On this particular vehicle, you get a beep, and as you pull it away, you get a second beep. Same thing with the second Prox remote. Beep and another beep. And then you hit your enter button. Now, your verification that the Prox remotes actually went in is going to be at the end. It's not going to say failed. It's going to say 2 or 4 keys. And your verification that a reset has been successful on one of these vehicles is the fact that at the end of the 16-minute process, your screen is going to read 0 of 4 Prox remotes. So I hope this helps to make it more of a high probability situation. If you follow those steps, I think it will. And the last tip I want to give to you also is make sure when you're introducing each Prox remote to the push to start button and registering it, that you get that one Prox outside of the interior sensor. Just a few feet away is fine, because you don't want to get cross interference between the two Prox remotes, which can happen, and that can cause a failure. And lastly, of course, add extra power to the vehicle. Power is essential, especially on Prox vehicles. And that concludes this video. I'll see you again. Bye-bye, everyone.